Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. This is Alone Together Pittsburgh. We are streaming at you live. We are here on episode 81, week 25. Since we started this little streaming television show project, we started right when the shelter-in-place order came down from the state of Pennsylvania. And we've been doing this ever since. We did it as a way to keep a sense of community going for people. Even though we're all alone, we're all still together in this thing. We've been a springboard for a lot of different things. We've had lots of different guests on over time. You can check us back at togetherpgh.com if you want to see our back episodes. But welcome. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping before we get into our show. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. Holt McCallany is going to be here tonight, and it's a special day for him, so we're very excited that he's going to spend it with us. We also have Chef Kate Romane going to do her segment, What Kate Ate. But before we get to that, a couple of things. One, as far as COVID numbers in Allegheny County, we shot back up over 100 today. That's not great. It's 101, so it's not terrible. We were 68 yesterday, so we're still kind of teetering on this thing. We really need to lock it down. Remember to wear a mask if you're going out. Don't be a jag. Put on a mask. Just put on a fucking mask. I mean, Bruce Springsteen says it. But while we're waiting for that, basically, don't think it's political. I know it's a political season, but just wear a mask. It doesn't matter.
Put on a fucking mask.
The boss thinks so. So, we haven't called that one out in a while, so I want to say props to Dave Mansueto in the booth running this thing. Pete is not with us.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy. I think I gave you a little heart attack.
You are welcome. You are doing great.
Awesome. You know what happened tonight? About literally 1 minute before the show started, there was a power surge, and I lost all power in the house again, and my internet dropped, and it just picked on like a minute before the show picked on. Just shit happens. Yeah, there's home base. That's my station. That's what you guys can't see. That's a look behind the curtain. Okay, now there's two things that usually happen during the show. We talk about our Venmo that's ticking across the screen at togetherpgh.com. If you have the means to give a couple of bucks, we would really appreciate it. It goes to the artists involved with the show every night. And there's nothing too small. There's nothing too big. We also have a PayPal that you can hit up on our website at togetherpgh.com. You can find the PayPal if you do not have the Venmo link. I'm put on a mask, Jag. And Ange Vesco knows what's up. She knows what time it is, and she knows all about masks. So here's something for you. This is the part of the show where we talk about a little thing called the Jag-Off poll. That's right, the Jag-Off bracket poll. We started the Jag-Off bracket poll back in March because March Madness was canceled. We thought we'd give you a bracket. We never realized we'd be doing this for 85 episodes, but here we are. What ended up happening is we have an overnight Jag-Off poll and an in-show Jag-Off poll. They're all Pittsburgh-centric. We're down to the Sweet 16 and the big guys, but we had the lower guys kind of doing battle. What ended up happening, Pete went out of town, and he didn't give us the codes to put the new stuff embedded into our website. That's Pete. Which one's Pete? I don't know. But so he kind of left us hanging high and dry. So I'm going to tell you again what the poll was from last Friday when we didn't have Pete. And that was the pierogi race versus Fort Duquesne inbound insanity. Now, we're going to hopefully have that poll for you tomorrow. But to tell you about the polls, they're brought to you by Engine House 25 Wines. That's right, Engine House 25 Winery. If you do not know where they are located, they are right where the Strip District meets Lawrenceville, right in Doughboy Square, 3339 Penn Avenue. Some of the best wine you're going to get anywhere. It's made right here in Pittsburgh. They get the grapes from everywhere, from Napa, Chile, everywhere in between. Everything, it comes in a refrigerated box truck, then it is hand-picked, hand-maintained, and made, and the labels are works of art. And if you'll notice, it is also home to the Roberto Clemente Museum. As you can see on some of these fantastic labels, there's Franco's Italian Army. They've got all these fantastic wines. They've got at least 8 reds that you can get right now. They have a Chardonnay that's killer and a Rosé if you get it early. And if you get to them on the weekend, you can get wine slushies to go, folks. You go to eh25.com. And remember that if you tell them that you found out about them through Alone Together Pittsburgh, you'll receive $5 off per bottle. That's right, $5 off per bottle, not per case. That's $5 off per bottle. Get on it and get it going there. And also look into the Roberto Clemente Museum. Dwayne Reeder's going to come on the show, I think, next week because they've got a big Clemente Museum fundraiser coming up. And I just saw their teaser, and it involved Eddie Vedder. So that's all I have to say about that. So there's lots of cool things happening there. So Engine House 25 Winery, eh25.com. All right, we'll be talking about that later, I'm sure. So anyway, I feel like we've got such an action-packed show tonight. Pete wanted everyone to know that he's vacationing, and he's got limited cell service, and he's taking it like a champ. Thanks, Pete. So anyway, let's roll things along here. I think, Dave, unless there's anything else you wanted to add.
Nope.
Fantastic. I think it's time we bring out Chef Kate Romain to find out what Kate ate. How you doing, Kate?
I'm good.
Were you in the booth when my power went out?
Yeah, I thought you were just like really concentrated. Like I didn't realize you were frozen. I was like, man, he's really.
Yeah, I was getting into the zone for the show. I was really finding that Zen place and ready to do it. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm ending a long day, but I'm good.
That's good. So okay. So the question on everyone's mind.
I'm sure.
What did Kate eat this week? What did Kate eat?
Kate ate so much. Oh my
You went
God,
out again?
So much. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this has been really good for me to do this because I don't know what anybody else is doing. Right. And I'm venturing outside of my fucking house, always with a mask, and finding out what other people are doing. So it's been really good. And this week we tried the legendary Bar Marco chicken parmesan night, and it was knock your socks off. It was so good.
All right. We got pictures. We've got pictures.
There it is. Though that the pasta was awesome. I also got, you can get a vegetarian version, which is eggplant. It was awesome. Also, those guys are so nice. Everybody knows Dr. Drew. They threw in some extra stuff for me. It was really great. And it was just honestly like incredibly moving for me to see how well everyone's taking this like hard time. Everybody's trying really, really, really hard and still making really, really good food. And it just felt awesome. So thank you, Bar Marco. And then what else did we ate the station burger.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Curtis. All right. Tell me about it.
Curtis he's obviously he's a great chef. We know this. And his burger is like legendary. But getting it to go was fantastic. There was like this onion jam on the bottom and a fried onion ring in it. It was fucking delicious. Oh, and I ate broccoli, which I didn't eat very much of. But
Okay. Now how did that travel?
good.
That burger?
Really
Okay.
good. It was really, it was so tasty. And it
It
came
looks
with a
always good.
pile of fries and like a dipping sauce. And I did not eat the broccoli because it wasn't delicious. I just crushed that burger standing up. So
Station in Bloomfield, Bar Marco in the Strip District.
Yeah.
You're just working your way up Liberty Avenue.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. That's good. Did let you know something else. I left working with you back in the day to work with Curtis.
I never knew that.
I parlayed from Enrico to working at Bruschetta.
Oh, he was a bruschetta? I didn't know.
That's where I met Curtis. He was wet behind the ear. He was young. He was a baby. He was a child at that point. But yeah, and I had lied to say that I had fine dining experience as a waiter, and that's where that's when we met each other. I think he was there when somebody was throwing a plate at my head in the kitchen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was it. So anyway, killer burgers, stations right. I've been trying to have Curtis on the show since the pandemic hit, actually. So
yeah,
I'm glad you went there.
I want to go back. There were like a lot of other things on the menu that I wanted to pick up. I definitely want to try the chicken liver mousse. I'm a big thin man chicken liver mousse fan, but his looks awesome. So maybe there's going to be a mousse off. I don't know.
Okay, I like that. Mousse off. All right.
Mousse off.
Okay.
And yeah,
Jackie Page wants you to pop over to the Love Rocks Cafe soon.
I need to. The worst part is that I'm working the same hours that you're open, Jackie. So as soon as I can get out a little bit early, I can't wait to come eat. Oh my God, your food looks awesome.
It does. She posted some pictures today. That
Oh
me.
yeah,
So
the shrimp thing today.
The shrimp thing today looked pretty insane. But okay, but keep it rolling. Okay, so that was that. What do you have going on? What's cooking at Black Radish this week?
So Black Radish, we're extending the hydration's key. Snacks is letting us know.
Okay, thank you, Snacks. We need videos of Snacks for the top of the show. But we'll talk about that after. All right, so tell me what's going on Black Radish.
So we are extending Belly Basket through September. So that's a collaboration we're doing with a couple of farms, Who Cooks, Tiny Seed, Churchy Farm, and you can order it online. You can order it for the entire month, or you can order it once a week. We deliver it to your door, no contact. It's a bunch of food that we just make from farm stuff. And one of the things we made, we got a bunch of really ugly bad apples from Churchview and made some really killer butter or apple butter out of it. It was
all right.
Yeah. And when I say bad apples, they were just, like
they were just acting out.
Yeah, they were just being meanies. They were ugly. But they don't look that ugly.
But they're delicious. Are those the apples? Those are the bad apples? Those don't look like bad apples. Well, I see a spot, but I mean, God, you're picky. You chefs. I tell you what, but that's why you're Kate Romain.
Oh,
you're picky. So what are you drinking, Kate, before we say goodnight?
I'm drinking some tequilas, and my favorite new thing is the LaCroix apricot. Can't get enough of that. Delicious.
I tried to make a funny play on words, but it just would have come out wrong in this day and age. So I stopped.
So I'm super excited for everybody you've had on this. This is you're doing a great job. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you for everything you're doing. And thank you. I love that you're showing this, because if I went out to take out places, people would be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, Patrick, that's all he does is go to takeout places and restaurants. But you see, you're a chef, right? You are of the ilk. So it's like, it's pretty hype.
Honestly, it's just like, it's nice to see what other people are doing. Like, I don't know, people have changed up their game. They're doing stuff.
Kate,
stuff that
I just want you, well, Emily says she misses you. Love you. Bye.
Oh, I miss her too. I miss seeing people. Anyway.
Yeah, well, this is nice. Well, anyway, awesome. So we're going to be seeing you next week, a week from today.
Yeah, and if there's
have you been planning
anybody has a suggestion that I check out, please let me know. Yeah,
please hit it up in the comments here, and we will get that over to Chef Kate Romain from Black Radish Kitchen. That's your official title now. All right, Kate. Well, thank you so much for letting us in on it, and we will talk to you soon.
Cool. Thanks, Patrick.
Stick around if you want to kick around for the green room after the show tonight. It should be fun.
Good. Cheers.
All right. So I think we're close to the time, but before we bring out our next guest, oh, you know what? Screw it. Let's bring him out. He's been waiting long enough. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a star of stage and screen. We've been wanting to have him on the show since the pandemic hit. We are flattered that he's chosen to be with us tonight, especially because it happens to be his birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, Holt McCallany.
Hey, Patrick.
What's up, buddy? I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Hey, thank you. Listen, I'm in quarantine in Toronto. I just came in from New York. I'm doing a movie up here for Guillermo del Toro, a movie called Nightmare Alley with Bradley Cooper. So I'm spending my birthday all alone in my hotel room, and this makes it a lot more memorable, and it's great to be with you. And I'm even wearing my Roberto Clemente Museum sweatshirt.
Well, you're wearing that. I happen to be wearing one as well.
No way.
I'm not the 21 variety, but I have the
wearing Clemente Museum shirts at the time. We didn't plan this.
We did not plan this.
People out there that, because we love the Clemente Museum, and we love we love Dwayne Reeder, And we love to hang out and drink his fabulous wine. And it's such a unique and special place, the Clemente Museum. And I know that they're in the middle of a fundraiser right now.
Right.
And aren't they having a big event?
They are having a big event. I mean, I wish Dwayne was watching the show, even though I told him you were going to be on tonight. I said you could give us the details, but I think it's the ClementeMuseum.com. You can check it out. I think they have a killer silent auction that's rolling right now, but they're going to have a big presentation and a video with some guests. I mean, might you be in that video?
Right, and
you are, yeah.
Like a big lineup, right? Eddie Vedder's in it, right?
Eddie Vedder is in there on a couple occasions, perhaps. Who knows? But it's one of those things where it's making lemonade out of this. Normally, you can't get all these people together in one city at one time, let alone in one building. But everybody's kind of got a little bit of time on our hands. You happen to be in a hotel room in Canada. So let me tell you something real quick before we get into like talking about lots of stuff here.
Sure.
Quarantining in Canada, it's a little bit different than the United States. I mean, how I think they're taking it more seriously up there.
There's no question that is true. Forgive me, I don't know how to stop my computer from dinging when a message comes in, so I apologize.
So you're popular.
But it's my birthday. You get a lot of messages on your birthday. The fine for violating quarantine, a mandatory 2-week quarantine for anybody traveling from the United States to Canada. It's a mandatory 2 weeks. The fine for violating it is $750,000 and 6 months in prison. And I say that number, and then people go, no, you mean $7,500. Like, no, I don't. I mean 750,000. Did I say 750,000? That's what it is. And obviously, most people couldn't pay that number. It's a gigantic number. I think that the government of Canada is trying to send a very clear message that if you put people at risk, that you're going to pay a very, very stiff penalty. So I think that's part of the reason that the Canadians have done really well at getting the virus under control. And as I say, I'm finally able to go back to filming. I'll start shooting as soon as I get out of quarantine.
Now, you started filming this thing before the pandemic hit, and it had to kind of halt production midway. So you're finishing it up now.
Correct. Yeah. So we were shooting in February and March in Toronto. It's a great film. The director Guillermo del Toro is a real master filmmaker. His last picture won the Academy Award for Best Film, The Shape of Water, and the film has an amazing cast led by Bradley Cooper, who is really such a like a smart and kind of like elegant and gracious guy. You know what I mean? He's really. There's a reason that he became so successful. Kate Blanchett is in the movie, a fabulous actress. Rooney Mara. It's just an amazing cast, and it's a remake of a film noir called from 1949 called Nightmare Alley. Anyway, please go see it. It's going to be a really good movie. But yeah, they put us on hold, and as I think I told you when you and I talked on the phone, I flew back to New York. And as soon as I got off the plane, I got an offer to go back to Canada to replace an actor in a Liam Neeson movie who was refusing to get on the plane because he was a cancer survivor, he was at increased risk. Who can blame him? So I went back and I did that, and then I got back to New York, in the middle of where I live, in the middle of March, and I've really been there until now. I just left New York finally to come to Canada and start filming. So it's been a long break.
I'll bet. While we've been talking, your birthday greetings have been coming in. Ange Vesco, who you know, she says,
God, whom I love.
She says, happy birthday.
Thank you, and I miss you. What I love about Ange, God, people are texting.
Yeah,
so what I love, one of the many things, may I say, that I love about you, Ange, is you have such tremendous style. You have like your own fashion sense, and you always look so great. And it's so kind of unique to you. And I used to look forward to coming to work in the morning so I could see what outfit Ange was wearing today, because she always looked She always looks so gorgeous. Anyway, nice to see you. Nice.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
so it's Travis, and some people you may not know. Lisa Aquaviva Pollock says happy birthday. Herky Pollock says happy birthday. Everybody's kind of ripping through here. Jackie Page, Kate, Emily Hurley says that she took a yoga class in Pittsburgh that you were at, and it was the coolest thing ever. She loved Mindhunter.
I know she said I wore the coolest shorts ever.
Shorts.
Come on, bro. I wore the cool. I wish that I was better at the hot yoga. I really like it. I it's good for my joints, and especially because I do other kinds of training. So it really allows me to stretch out. But I got to work on my flexibility. But thank you for that.
Flexibility. I mean, that reminds me of something. Flexibility. Actually, before I'm hold. Let's put a pin. Let's put a pin. We're going to put a pin in flexibility. But there's something we have an in-show poll brought to you by Engine House 25 Winery. Now we usually come up with something Pittsburgh centric, but instead of going Pittsburgh centric, it's your birthday. We made it Holt centric, right? So we have 4 for the audience to choose from. 4 somewhat iconic Holt McCallany performances to choose from. Okay, so we're going to start off. Number 1, Dave, are we ready to roll this? Number 1. Lights Out.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really, really good show that I did. It premiered in 2011 on the FX network, and it got terrific reviews. But television is about advertising, and we were like 25% lower in the ratings than we needed to be to get renewed. So only got 1 season, but I still recommend it because even for a 1-season show, it's a great show. It
was a great show. I loved it. That's before I even knew you. I was watching that show. All right. The second choice for the audience. Now you can vote through here. This is a no-brainer. This is obvious, right? Mindhunter.
Oh yeah.
I'm Special Agent Tench. This is Special Agent Ford. This isn't an interrogation, Mr. Manson. We know you didn't commit the Tate or LaBianca murders. What we're interested in is your relationship with your family.
Okay, so we were painstakingly trying to find a nice little tight clip of you, but it was hard to rip them in the last minute. Mostly it was almost going to be 45 seconds of you just smoking. but Mindhunter, everybody, I mean, obviously that's a big one. Okay.
Well, look,
Mindhunter
was I think both a critical and commercial success. But as you and I have talked about in the past, Patrick, all the credit really goes to David Fincher. He's such a talented director, producer, and he really put the whole thing together. I was lucky. It's a great part. It's a great show, and it's something that I'm really proud of. And look, I hope we get to come back.
Well, that's what you just got a message here. Lisa Aquavilla Pollock just said that you were the heart of Mindhunter, and I got to agree with you. Now, but Mindhunter, but you had an amazing ensemble cast around you as well. It was a good team. Plus, Pittsburgh as a backdrop. So. Yeah. Mindhunter. Okay, so
just because I don't want to mean to interrupt you, Patrick, and I know we're doing our.
Hey, it's your day.
Well, no, but just to say, that we really had a great experience in Pittsburgh, and it's a great town, and the people were very, very warm, and they really, really rolled out the red carpet for us. And, I got to do everything from throw out the first pitch at a Pittsburgh Pirates game, hanging out at the Clemente Museum with you.
Well, Dave was quick on the trigger. I was gonna try to talk about flexibility and work into that, but he saw the opening. He stepped on my bit.
Well done. Well,
but he is the best in the business.
Uniforms, because I'm a Pirates fan, man, and I'm a Penguins fan. I'm a Steelers fan, and that was part of the magic of being in Pittsburgh, and great restaurants. Kate mentioned Bar Marco, a little while ago. That was my producer, David Fincher's favorite restaurant in Pittsburgh, and we had a lot of fabulous dinners there. It's such a great place. The people are so wonderful. The food is wonderful. And they have that private dining room downstairs, which if you haven't tried it, you got to try it. So, and a lot of great places in Lawrenceville. And, I don't know, we had a really good time.
Yeah. I hope you guys come back. I hope you come back for any generic reason. But all right. So I think that was our second clip. Okay, so we have two more, and then the audience gets to vote and let them know on the thing. Okay, it's okay, buddy. It's okay.
One of my really terrible ones. Go ahead.
I'm not going to pick a terrible one. This is a big one. This is a one with notoriety. I see it on your Instagram all the time. Okay, I'm not allowed to talk about this, but Fight Club.
Then I know which one it is.
There you go. So roll it.
In death, a member of Project Mayhem has a name. His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paul. Should have let that clip play a little bit longer, up to the point where Edward Norton goes, "Stop it! That's enough!" Because
I love you acting it out. We could probably get that.
Yeah,
we could let that roll. I'm going to take that one. Dave had it going longer. I cut it for time.
You cut it for time. Oh, you see, I thought. Do we have to go to a commercial or something?
No, there's no such thing as a commercial here. We're going to be here for
Patrick. You fucked me.
No, okay.
But no, let me just say one thing. About Fight Club again.
Please,
David Fincher.
Yeah.
Right, and Fight Club. It wasn't as warmly embraced as we had anticipated it could be, because we were really really honored to be a part of that film. It was one of those rare films that you're a part of something really special while you're making it. And it has since become an iconic film that is considered one of the most important films of its generation. And I think it's a masterpiece, but I don't know. It was one of those things that, I was so happy when he offered me that job. And it's really like a two-hander between Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. But of the supporting characters, Jared Leto, myself, Meatloaf, we were on it for 5 months, and it was a lot of fun, man. And it's really cool to be a part of a film that is remembered in the way that Fight Club is remembered.
All right. Well, I agree. So you felt it when you were making it. You guys knew when you were auditioning for it. When you were in the process, did you know that it was hot? Like, was this this script was the hot item?
Oh, everybody in town wanted to be Fight Club, and there was nothing else at the studios like it. A lot of people found it very subversive and provocative. Do you know what I mean? People, I don't think it is, but people try to say that it's it's anarchist. That there were. I remember when the film came out, Rosie O'Donnell at the time had a talk show, and she went out on her talk show, and the weekend, the Friday of the movie came out, the Monday right after. And she said, "Whatever you do, don't see Fight Club. It's demented. It's depraved. It's the worst movie I've ever seen." And we were, and I happened to be in a dentist's office, and I caught that, like on the, I don't actually watch the Rosie O'Donnell show, but I did happen to catch, and I was like, "Wow, man, I can't believe that the film is inspiring those kinds of reactions," and yet it did. So yeah, a very controversial film at the time, but very unique and very original and very unlike the other films that were made in the same period.
All right, love it. I mean, yeah, okay. So let's get to this fourth one. And so that's all we can get is 4. I mean, we could have. I mean, you've got a pantheon of shows. All right, this next one, I think you were robbed. You should have gotten an award for it. It's from the show. It's from the title. The title of the show. It's season 2. I believe it's Mr. Monk takes 3 pies. Dave, do we have some footage?
Give me that pie. What are you doing? Don't make me hurt you. Just give me that pie.
Now I feel like I'm on Inside the Actors Studio. That was some serious stuff. That pie.
Okay, there's a story behind that, and this is what it is. Monk was a show that starred a very wonderful actor that I knew from New York named Tony Shalhoub, and Tony Shalhoub won an Emmy Award for Monk, and he and I had done a film together again in Toronto, where I am again, called Against the Ropes. Which was about a woman named Jackie Callan, who was the first female boxing manager to manage her fighter to a world championship. Very famous woman, lady in boxing circles. And we had done this movie together. And, and then Tony, asked me if I would do an episode of the show, and John Turturro is also in that same episode. And so I said yes, but, it's pretty broad humor. I think that might be the only time in my career I beat up an old woman to get a pie. So, but thank you for picking that.
Oh, well, she did use mace on you, and that guy in the potato sack, you wanted to win. I mean, that was that winning edge that you were going through. And
well, you might have noticed that I'm a bad guy in that episode of mine. But actually,
to be honest with you, I just went. See, Anne should posted a clip from it and on Instagram, and I went, "What is that?" And then she says, "Thank you, Holt." So I was like, "We got to find that one," because there were others to choose from, and I was going that, and so looking through the clips to try to rip that today, I was like, actually, this episode is stacked with really good actors,
right?
And you were actually legit. You're really good in it. I mean, like, I'm not like we pulled. No, there's good stuff, and towards the later in the episode. So I had never seen Monk. I knew Monk was a thing. I knew he won the Emmy, but yeah. So this was my first foray into it. I was thinking it was going to be way more tongue-in-cheek than it was. Okay, so now you, the audience at home, you get to vote. You get to say which of those 4 iconic Holt performances roll here. So there's been a lot of things going on here. You know what, Holt, I want to talk to you about so much stuff, but being that it's your birthday, it is your birthday, and we know you're there. I think we should maybe bring out somebody to say hello. I think we've got somebody else on deck here. Dave, who do we have here that's on deck just to say hi, to say a little happy birthday something to Holt? Who's coming in, Dave? Surprise me, Dave. Wow me, Dave. Okay. So, hey, it's Carter Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God. Goodness.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you so much. I didn't recognize you for a second with the beard.
Yeah, I got a very Jacobian look.
I like it.
I have to say, as fond as I am of your Monk work, I have to vote for Bill Tench, because I truly believe that you really were the heart of that show.
Well, it's really nice of you to say that, Cotter. I'll tell you, I was so happy making that show, and I loved working with you, my friend. I really did. It was such a great experience. I mean, you're one of the few people who will understand, because you were with me in the trenches. But Jonathan Groff is one of the nicest, kindest people that I've ever. Really always in a great mood every morning.
Fincher was so smart to cast him, because anyone who didn't have Jonathan's patience and kindness would have killed Fincher after the first season.
It was tricky, I think, because Holden is such a complicated character. Do you know what I mean? It's like we like him and we're rooting for him, and yet he can be headstrong, he can be arrogant, he can be, do you know what I mean? So there are these many sides of Holden, and I thought Jonathan was wonderful in the part. You know, he's a really talented guy. He's got who? Oh my God!
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. That's actually how he's live right now. He just froze. That's just how he's dressed at his house. Like,
And he's in Germany doing The Matrix.
He's in Germany. He's in Berlin. As a matter of fact, I texted with him yesterday, and you know, and they're moving forward, and they're shooting the movie, and
Wow.
they're not even behind schedule. And I think he's having a really good experience there. And I'm supposed to get together with him when he gets back. But what a great guy. What a great show.
What a time! What a time!
It wasn't it though?
Special time.
I mean, it sounds like a time, but you know what? I mean, Cotter's here, but we should probably bring out the new Cotter. Is he here? Do we have is anybody is MS on deck here?
Only
Oh.
Cotter is Cotter.
God. Wow.
Michael.
It's my two bosses for you. Happy birthday, man. Hey, Cotter.
Hey, Michael.
You know, it's
Michael.
What's that?
It's my birthday.
I know. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
You know, as much as one of the greatest injustices in television history is that we haven't already done a season 3 of Mindhunter. But second to that, I think, is the fact that somebody missed the opportunity for the spin-off of Monk starring Pizza Man.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. Mr. Monk and the Three Pies. I think was the title of the episode. Yeah, you know, look, I had fun, but not as much fun as I had with you guys in Pittsburgh. You know, I thought it was so smart of David to choose Pittsburgh. Because, you know, when I asked him, I assumed it was like a tax break thing or, you know, rebate or whatever. And they said, no, you know, Bill Doyle, who was in charge of locations, one of our producers, a great guy. And I had a conversation with him. He said, no, you know, Pittsburgh is a very unique city. There are places near Pittsburgh that can look like New England, but there are other places that can look like the South. And there are all those little towns around Pittsburgh that still kind of look like the period. Do you know what I mean? A lot of small towns that really have a lot of the 70s architecture still and all that stuff. So it was a brilliant choice to shoot there.
In Pittsburgh to draw on, and you know.
Right.
I'll agree. I'll agree wholeheartedly. I'm glad everything was shot in Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, Cotter definitely agrees with you, and you know,
we stayed.
took up
We
residence, and I've been spending a lot of the last several months at my dad's place in Pittsburgh. So, yeah.
Which is a crime that we can't really hang out.
I know.
Like, you're in my city and I can't even see you.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is Mindhunter. I mean, I met all of you guys via Mindhunter. Michael, I met you through Cotter.
Right.
Holt, I met you through Dwayne. And then we all kind of like, where with the Cotter, we've worked together. And Michael, you know, you did a fundraiser for me last year, or maybe that was 4 years ago. I don't remember. But this is like a little mini Mindhunter reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Very nice.
It definitely is. I know Jonathan would have loved to have been on the call with us.
He's probably slow motion dodging bullets right now.
There he is. Yeah.
We tried.
Our director of photography, Eric Messerschmidt, got married. Do you remember Eric?
Oh, yeah.
And a lovely man. And so Jonathan and I sang a duet together. You know what I mean? For the wedding, like a Zoom wedding. It was my first Zoom wedding.
Oh,
and
wow.
you know, the only difficulty with that is that Jonathan is such an amazing singer.
Yeah.
He's got such a beautiful voice, and he's so talented at it. And so that, you know, I think set myself up. Do you know what I mean? To you know, to fail in a way. But we had a great time, and you know. And I
Did you finally do that version of Psycho Killer that we kept talking about doing?
no, but that would have been a good film. That would have been
You guys dangled that carrot in front of me because that was going to happen during my fundraiser that Michael played.
Yeah.
And Jonathan showed up tired, and Holt, you went to another wedding.
Did I really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. My friend's son got married. But I came to your theater many times.
Oh, dude, no, like three people.
I did, and I came to see your performance there. Also, Cotter with David Fincher and his wife.
Right.
That's right. We stay on.
Yeah.
Today, Holt.
And
I mean,
Bill Doyle.
And Bill Doyle. Actually, all of
what's that?
Just so you guys know, like you guys, the three of you especially, left an impression on Pittsburgh. Cotter, thank God you stayed with us. But everybody else, like, okay, so I said Holt was going to be on the show tonight, and 5 people were like, I saw Holt at your play. I saw Holt, like somebody today. Holt was in a yoga class I was in. Holt did this. Like, basically, you were like Mr. Pittsburgh for like just about the better part of 3 years.
I don't know if I was Mr. Pittsburgh.
You were pretty much Mr. Pittsburgh, man.
You threw out the first pitch.
I did.
We ran the footage already.
Oh, did you? Good.
And we had 2 pretty amazing rap parties. Did we not, Patrick?
I was at the one. You bumped my show so you guys could have the one. Holt, man, you called me you were working this out. You were like, Patrick, you know, Patrick, you have the theater. Because I had the Ace Hotel, we were doing a show there,
right.
and so we closed our show early, so Mindhunter could have the rap party because Holt was so goddamn persuasive.
I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. You're not sorry yet because they ended up not doing the rap party for 3 more weeks. They pushed it, so we shut it down, and then you were like, well, let's watch the Super Bowl there. so we all watched the Super Bowl there instead. But you picked up the tab, my friend, so you made it all better because I would have probably lost money on that show.
Sounds like the least I could do under the circumstances.
But that was pretty funny.
No, I think they were pretty determined to have the rap party at the Ace Hotel because there are kind of 2 areas, right? There's the dance, there's the room upstairs where you can dance, and then there's kind of like the room downstairs, the gym that they made into a bar. So it was the perfect spot, and we had it there. We had it there both times. You know, I was really bummed that we left Pittsburgh. I got to tell you, you know, but what can you do? Do you know what I mean? There are things in life that we can control, and there are things in life that are beyond our control. And that was one of them. You know, was the decision to leave Pittsburgh because I was really happy in Pittsburgh. You know, and I also found that if I did want to go home, you know, for the weekend, because I live in Manhattan, that I could go door to door in 3 hours. Delta will let you check in like 30 minutes before. I wouldn't have a carry-on. I would park my car at the airport.
Short term.
Right, go up. I've already checked in, and I get out of LaGuardia. It's like a 50-minute flight, maybe. You know what I mean? To something like that, right? And, you know, I land, I get in a cab, and I'm in my apartment in 3 hours. But if you wanted to go to LA, there were no direct flights. You had to change, you know what I mean? You know, planes in, I don't know, in Denver or Chicago or somebody. And then on top of that, you know, the difference in time. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't, it would take your whole weekend just to go to LA, but New York, you could go like that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, well. Thank you for being an advertisement for other people shooting in Pittsburgh. Right now, anybody who's watching, once we get this pandemic shit behind us, we'd really appreciate you making your movies in Pittsburgh.
What have you been up to, Michael? How are things with the band?
Good, actually. We've been like, you know, playing remotely and trying to write stuff together and doing it all, you know, sending stuff to each other. But it's been good. I've been doing that, and I've been digging through my archives of my past. I've gone through every closet and dresser drawer and every box in my dad's basement and been unearthing all of my past, which is
Gold. It's
which
gold.
is, gold and also agonizing, at the same time.
It's gold. The more that I'm going to be disappointed when you stop posting different pictures from these different shows, because
It'll be disappointing when it gets into color.
no, the Danny Partridge era. There was one.
That's true.
The Danny Partridge era was pretty sweet with the bell bottoms.
Yeah.
And the bangs.
Yeah.
Check out Michael Cerverus or on social media. You'll find some great pictures.
And the Tommy era, right?
And
we haven't made it to Tommy yet.
We haven't made it to Tommy yet.
No, we're still in my early regional theater days.
Michael's band is Loose Cattle. You were talking about locations and stuff on Mindhunter a little bit ago. What was the guy's name? Bill Doyle?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think he might want to say hello. Hey, is Bill Doyle in the green room to say happy birthday to Holt?
There he is.
Bill!
Gentlemen, hello.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, buddy!
Hi, guys. What's going on?
Wow.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Well, thank you very much, my friend. What a pleasant surprise. So great to see you. Where are you these days?
I'm in Los Angeles. I haven't been here for years, and now I've been here straight for a year.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. And how are you? Everybody safe and healthy?
And how about you guys? Yeah, everything's good. We wrapped David's movie production in March, and then went right into shutdown, basically. So, yeah. So they're just in final touches. It's really close.
Wow.
Which could take forever.
Yeah, there's a term called pixel fuck, and we know who does that. But yeah, it's maybe October, November. I think it comes out.
Wow.
Nice.
Fabulous. Was that a good
you guys? What a rogues come again?
Right? What a rogues gallery.
Yeah, what a rogues gallery. Holy cow. What did I miss? Who have we been talking about?
Okay, so we talked about Mr. Monk takes a third pie. Okay, so
I saw that episode. It's hilarious.
We went in depth. Well, people at home can vote right now about Holt taking the pie, which I'm leaning towards that. But there are other films, including the television series Mindhunter, which you may know something about. Michael, in the meantime, somebody said that you have a very impressive record collection behind you.
Thank you. It's been meticulously gathered over the years.
Right.
I don't know if you can read any of the titles, but
I'm gonna take your word on that one.
Yeah.
Because it's a good ways away there.
yeah, it
But I love
runs
that
the
you
gamut.
listen to records, right? I mean, it's a completely different experience, like listening to a real record, right?
Oh yeah, I stopped knowing the lyrics to songs once it moved to CDs because you couldn't follow along in the print was too small.
They have print. No, I'm
I
kidding.
have prints right here.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I missed the album artwork too. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
all of Loose Cattle's records, we've always put them, and my solo records too. I've put them all on vinyl because they didn't seem like records until they were on vinyl. Even though it's basically a loss leader, but for me, it's not really an album unless it's on vinyl.
A lot of records are coming out on vinyl now.
Yeah.
Again, the last few years, and they're doing reissues of a lot of old school stuff that I'm loaded up on, which is great because some records you'd have to spend $400 on eBay to get the original, and now it's it's $4.
Yeah. I also unearthed, along with all my other stuff, I unearthed a box of all my cassettes, all my late 80s, 90s, early 2000s indie rock cassettes. So if anybody's interested in those,
Do you have anything to play them on? Do you still have a cassette player?
no, I have to get a cassette player now.
Carter, how do you listen to music? Good morning,
I'm
Carter.
not losing everybody. I just lost.
All right.
I lost you there.
We're
Everybody just got
here.
pixelated on my end.
Maybe do a reboot.
I may do a reboot. I actually have a 9 o'clock Zoom I got to go to.
Oh, okay. Well,
I love you, Foreman. I love you. Thanks for having the birthday to do this, Holt. Thank you, Patrick, as always. Such an organizer.
Great to
really
see
look forward
you.
to we can
Oh man,
time to get together.
love to.
Someday,
I hope
some
so.
way.
Great
Safe
to see you,
travels
Carter.
to you all. Good to see you guys.
Carter,
Wow.
thanks for being here.
Have a
Yeah,
great night.
man.
All right.
Anytime. Take
so,
care.
Take care, man.
So to keep things rolling here, gentlemen, I don't know why I'm full screen because everyone wants to see me tonight, but we have to check on the results of the polling. I mean, this isn't the final. We've got some time here to chat, but let's just see how it's going and let people know that you can vote at home. Okay, it is looking like okay. Mindhunter's in the lead. Mindhunter's in the lead, but you know,
Three Pies is
Battling it out for second there.
with Fight Club.
pretty good showing.
Neck and neck.
All right, all right.
Fight Club. Whoa! Oh, Lights Out only got 2 votes. Boy, that's
That's because I can't vote.
that's not very good.
But also we've got. I mean, Lights Out was great, but I mean, we're talking Mindhunter. We got the Mindhunter reunion going on right now. You guys are swapping stories.
Mine is going to be hard.
See, now I'm imagining the Monk as directed by Fincher. Like that would be a whole other thing.
Would have been a lot better. Yeah.
The head smash on the steering wheel would have been a better angle, I think, and the follow through might have been a little bit more violent.
I don't know if that kid could have done 50 takes though of being shoved.
That was some serious shoving. Oh man, that's
You didn't even hold back a little.
Oh, you didn't pull out at all.
the little tyke's neck snapped. Like you knew it was real because his neck kind of like snapped coming out of the shot. It wasn't even like a legit spit take. So let me ask you guys a question. I mean, it's Holt's birthday, so I figured like the night I met Holt, did you guys know that when Holt travels and goes places or drives, he goes with full boxing gear just in the trunk?
Because you never know.
Where some people might go with like a tire iron, a spare tire. No. Like
Might bump into somebody who wants to go a few rounds, you know, and say, "Oh, I got my gear right here. Come on."
Well, I had you in a boxing gym within a week after I met you that day because I was like,
"You did, Congress."
I-
You know what? Those guys are great guys, and you know they had a fighter actually competing in Paris, France, when I was there, and I went and I went out to support them, and there were a lot of famous French actors in the audience. Mathieu Kassovitz, I don't know if you know that name, but he's the star of the most successful television series probably in the history of France called Le Bureau des Légendes. And a great actor from La Haine. I don't know if you know any of his films, but he's a really, really superb actor. So that all happened just because of Congrab and because of the connection that you kind of introduced me to.
And you may notice that Holt is actually fluent in French and have done some French language films as well.
Oh my God, you're going to show clips?
No, I'm not. I don't have footage of it.
Did that film come out, Holt? The one that you
anything? Yeah.
Did that film come out? The one that you went over to do?
You know, it did, and you know, I got to say, you know, when Bill knows this, you know, I'll be eternally grateful, you know, to David, because he actually let me to go to France and shoot another movie while we were shooting Mindhunter, you know, because I had gone to college in France and you know, at theater school really, and I had always loved French cinema, and I wanted to be in a French movie. And then suddenly, because of the success of Mindhunter, you know, which was a huge hit in France, I got offered this film. It was called Le Dindon, which means like the turkey, and it's a famous play by Georges Feydeau that was written in 1896. It's a classic French farce. So, you know, it's everybody's having affairs with everybody else. It's a broad comedy. And it starred a guy named Danny Boone. And Danny Boone is not only the biggest star in France, he's probably the most successful actor in Europe. I think he lives in LA now. He just did a movie for Netflix with Adam Sandler that did very well. But anyway, he's the star of it, and I'm in the movie. And unfortunately, although I think the movie is really funny, the French audiences, you know, I don't know why, but they didn't come out for it.
You should have
Not enough
probably
Jerry Lewis.
you should have probably said like "lady" or something like that. They would have killed for it. You would have won an award.
I don't know, but I continue to get offered stuff over there, and so I'm sure I'll go do another movie over there. I had a great experience. What the French cinema is very different than our cinema. If you can imagine this, they shoot a 10-hour day, and it won't go 5 minutes beyond that 10 hours. They pick me up at 8 a.m., a very civilized hour. Wouldn't you agree? 8 a.m. at the hotel, often
Luxury.
I have to be in the makeup chair at 5:30 a.m. I get up, you know what I mean, at 8 a.m. pickup is and then by 6 o'clock, you're done. It's just unbelievable. And it's the French labor laws are very strict, and they don't make an exception for the film business. So it's just like you were working at any other job. So, we're shooting in Paris. You do your 10-hour day. At 6 o'clock, you wrap, and everybody goes, well, let's go to dinner. There's got to be a great restaurant around here. And no matter where you are in Paris, there usually is. So no, they were really kind to me. I don't know if you know the soccer team, Paris Saint-Germain, but they're a big deal over there. And the director took me to see one of the games, and one of the French actors, a guy named Guillaume Gallienne, who's a big star over there, who was from La Comédie Française. He took me to see La Comédie Française, which is one of the really venerable old theatrical institutions in France. It's like a legendary place. So, I had a great time, and that wouldn't have been possible if they hadn't let me out during the Mindhunter shoot.
Bill, while you're here, Michael Rubino wants to know if season 3 of Mindhunter can be in France.
What's the French equivalent of the FBI? Maybe you got a transfer there.
Talk to Holt on that one.
I think it's called CNAS, Centre National something. I can't remember exactly, but it does exist. And that's a great idea, Michael. Is that Michael's idea?
Michael just said that, and Amanda Kieran says,
easy to find. He directed a movie that was just nominated for the César for Best Picture. I don't think it'll be hard to track down Roman Polanski.
And Amanda wants to just letting you know that apparently Fincher can't direct if you shoot in France on a 10-hour day, is what Amanda was saying.
That's just shoot more days.
She also earlier said that she would like to go a few rounds with Holt. I don't know what Amanda's getting at, but that could be. When I think of French movies, I think of people smoking. Okay, so Holt, are you a smoker in regular life? So Mindhunter, people watched it. You smoked a lot of cigarettes. Now, were those real cigarettes?
They were.
So did you pick up a habit?
I did, and it was a funny story because I hadn't smoked since I was in high school, and I remember my first meeting with David, to discuss the possibility of playing the part, and he said, "Can you smoke?" And it's a bit like asking an actor, "Can you ride a horse?" And you say, "What? Can I ride a horse? I grew up on a ranch. Yeah, my family were breeders of thoroughbreds. Yeah, I was going to compete in the Olympics." And then you go out and get horseback riding lessons so you don't fall off the first day. So, I wanted the job so badly. And so he said, "Can you smoke?" I was like, "Sure." I smoked. Yeah, I used to smoke. Yeah. I smoked, 30 years ago. And so then, you got to really do it. And, part of the reason that David's films are so good is because he's very meticulous. And so you do a lot of coverage. And if you're smoking, that means you smoke a lot of cigarettes. And so I learned, over the course of a few months, to be judicious about how much of the cigarette that I smoke, because you're gonna smoke a lot of them. And I remember there was one weekend in particular. I don't know if I was with you, Bill, but it was a Saturday, and I was going to meet some of the guys, and I remember suddenly I realized that I was going to have to go and buy cigarettes. Because I had been smoking so much as the character that now, even though it's the weekend and I don't have to shoot, I felt like, where are my cigarettes? So I went to this convenience store, that one that's just there as you're coming into the strip district, and there were like 50 different kinds of cigarettes. And because I haven't bought cigarettes, for like 30 years, I didn't have a brand. And so there was a very beautiful, young lady in front of me in line, and she was buying cigarettes. And when the sales clerk said, "What kind of cigarettes do you want?" she said, "Camel Crush Menthol Light." So when she got to me, I said, "Camel Crush Menthol Light."
Oh, wow.
And so then I showed up like on the set.
It's like smoking a tube of toothpaste.
You can't believe, how people they ridiculed me mercilessly because I was smoking a menthol cigarettes. But then in season 2, I made a promise to myself I would only smoke when the cameras were rolling. And I stuck to that. And then once the season ended, that was it. Because I can't.
Because you want to live.
Because I want to live. Right.
Did you go cold turkey? Like last take, martini, cigarette out?
It's so funny. I thought, Patrick, that it would be more difficult than it was to walk away. But once the necessity of doing it wasn't there anymore because of the character, it was not hard for me to say, okay, I'm done with that. Oh, God, But I'm glad actually that even though there were times when it would get me a little nauseous or lightheaded because I'm smoking so much, it really added something, I think, to the character and to the period. Because let's face it, those guys, law enforcement guys, FBI cops and stuff like that from the 70s, most of them did smoke. Do you know what I mean? They really, they did. And so I thought it was right for the character, and it seemed to work. So, but I'm going to be careful, in the future. How many?
There's some wear and tear. There's some mileage on those lungs right now from your.
Not to get morose about the thing, but my father had died from throat cancer from smoking, and he got this tumor on his neck that I swear to God was the size of a tennis ball, and it was coming right ugly and purple and green and just And
this is what you want to talk about on your birthday. So,
so as I'm sitting there smoking, I'm just wondering, how long is it until I start to feel the thing growing out of the side of my neck? No, I dropped them and I feel great.
Hey, speaking of birthdays, that reminds me of the present that you and Groff got for David Fincher's birthday.
Yes, we got him an original oil painting of Charles Manson by John Wayne Gacy. I had to buy, authentic.
Oh my God. How did you even find this?
There are collectors. Believe it or not, there's a whole subculture out there of serial killer aficionados who trade, different kinds of things, memorabilia, or, poems that they wrote, or letters that they sent, or paintings that they made in prison, or even sometimes, you can find items from crime scenes and stuff. It's pretty crazy what's out there. It's not cheap, because the good stuff, they know that
nobody wants a bad John Wayne Gacy.
That bad Charles Manson.
That chef's kiss type shit. Those gem mint 10s. Man. Wow.
But Bill, do you know whether it made it back to the Fincher compound and if it's hung in pride of place back there?
I can't tell you where it's hung, but it is hung.
Wow.
Yes, well, I hadn't really thought the thing through completely. I'm not sure how much love, really exists for Charles Manson.
Oh, great. Thanks.
But the thing is, it can be difficult, sometimes to find ways to express your gratitude to David because, he does so much. You know what I mean? And the show is was such a tremendous critical hit, and it's because of him. We had 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes for 100% for months, and we only went down to 98 or something when we got one mixed review from a critic in Barcelona. Otherwise, unqualified raves. And I don't know. So I was just happy to be there. But it's hard to find ways to say thank you, for the guy who has everything. So we would find this very bizarre poem that was written by David Perkowitz, an original typed version of it,
So you got him lots of stuff.
Well, we were there for a couple of years. We were there for a couple of years. And
so it's probably good the show took a hiatus, because I don't know how you're going to top that last one. Like, what were you going to do? You were actually going to find this is Charles Manson's finger.
Well, we did. At the end, it was Christmas time. And we all went away. We had cufflinks made. I don't even know if he wears cufflinks. He really doesn't dress up that much. But it was Bill Tench's head with the flat top haircut and Jonathan Groff's head. You know what I mean? On the other side, you know what I mean? We were there for the cufflinks, and then for Xeon, it was like a bracelet with like Bill and Holden charms. Just try to find stuff. It's just about trying to get.
I think I saw those up on eBay. Is that
it's possible? Because there are more than one set in existence. Right? So I don't know. You never know.
Hey, do you have your bike still? The Manson Eyes bike?
I do. I bought a Harley Davidson, and Bill, my friend Bill, is a motorcycle enthusiast as well. So he remembers. My favorite line from season 1 belonged to the actor Cameron Britton, who played Ed Kemper, the co-ed killer, and he was terrific in the part, and he was actually nominated for an Emmy Award for the part. And he has this line, where Jonathan says to them, he's talked about all these gruesome things that he did, cutting off his mother's head and having sex with her, just crazy, demented stuff. And and then at the end, Jonathan says to him, well, what do you think should happen to guys like you? And he thinks about it for a moment, and he says, death by torture. And I thought, death by torture, that would be a cool thing to write on the side of my motorcycle. So I have a Harley Davidson that says death by torture, and it says it's like Manson's eyes. It's pretty. People see it and they look at me like.
I'm sitting here right now. I wish I had taken a picture of it when I saw that bike. I wish I had been able to pull that out right now. But I have another picture. Speaking of Charles Manson, now this isn't Charles Manson, but this is of that era. It's a still photo. Dave, do we have it?
Oh my God!
Right.
You're killing me. So let me just say one thing about that. Okay. So wait a minute,
please.
There's a Pittsburgh connection, because that is a sequel to a film by George Romero called Creepshow. And it was directed by a lovely guy named Mike Gornick. And Michael Gornick still lives in Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh native. He's lived there all his life. And we used to go to the ball game together and stuff. A great guy. I came in to audition to play like a frat boy, I read for Michael and for the casting director, a gentleman named Leonard Finger, wonderful old casting director in New York, retired now. And I read, and they said, we'd like you to read for the Indian. And I said, for the Indian? And he said, yeah, you have good bone structure, and we'll put a wig on you. We think you could do it. It's Burt Lancaster did it. He was terrific. And I was like, how could I be an Indian? I have blue eyes. And the guy looks at me, Leonard Finger, and he goes, we'll make you a half-breed.
Wow.
And so that was like my first movie.
What year?
This is like I'm going to say like 1986, 87.
Okay.
And so I think if I ever write my memoir, I might call it "We'll Make You a Half-Breed." I don't know.
I mean, you might want to table that. You might want to. I'm with you. I believe in you, and you're. You might want to just
different times.
That obviously, 35 years later, if they offered me a part like that, I wouldn't do it, because there are a lot of great Native American actors, as some of whom I've worked with, subsequently. That are wonderful, that are good friends of mine. I don't know, why it went to me, but it was my first movie, and I was just trying to break into the business.
I would recommend if you want to check it out. Just it's a good death scene. It's a good final scene for the Holts. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, because Creepshow 1 with the George Romero thing, Creepshow 2 was actually a better product.
Remember, like Creepshow 1 had some very fine actors. Ed Harris is in Creepshow 1. A wonderful character actor named E.G. Marshall was in Creepshow 1. There's
Stephen King, and my dear friend, my mentor Bingo O'Malley played his dad.
Wow.
Stephen King's father in that, and that's what my theater, my stage is named after Bingo, and he played the dad in that.
Okay.
Yeah. So but I mean, even though I knew people in it, I would prefer the second one to the first one.
Really? Okay. Well, the critics, I'm not sure they agree with me.
The critics didn't like the first one. No, it's bad, Holt. It's terrible. It's not good at all. But that's what's good about it.
I haven't seen either of them in at least 25 years. So
it's been probably 15 or 20 for me on both.
Yeah.
So I could be a different.
Thank you for bringing up that photo.
Well, that's good. That's good. So Bill, you've been quiet down there.
Oh, he's always quiet when Holt's around. Just looking for the empty spaces.
But I'm giving you one. I'm giving you the floor.
The fact checking too.
I'm going to give you the floor, sir.
Go for it, man.
Just say anything you want about this guy. Michael Holt.
It's funny because I've heard Cotter say the same thing, and you said it. I think I told Holt in a way midway through season 1 when we were finally getting to know each other, and I said, because there's a lot of dailies with David. Each day you're going to watch a lot of takes on a lot of stuff on a lot of angles, and I told Holt he's the reason I watch dailies. I watch all of them.
Oh, that's nice of you.
And it really is true. And when folks are calling you the heart of the show, that's what people were really tuning in to see on a regular basis. And murder. That's it.
Right. Well, thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. It's funny. Somebody said something similar to me, the other day, and what I said back was, and I think you might agree with me on this, Michael. There's an old adage among actors that it's not possible to be better than your opportunity. If you're in a mediocre script with a mediocre director, you're not going to give a great performance. It's because the opportunity to give a great performance isn't there. It's just, you know what I'm trying to say? No. You need those other elements, and that's what it's like, working. That's why it's so exciting to work for David, because you can feel often that it's like being invited to a beautiful, sumptuous dinner party. Everything the table is all set. All you have to do, is sit down without tripping over your chair and eat the meal without spilling it down the front of your shirt. And people go, wow, that was great. And you're like, well, thank you, but, there was a lot more, going on, than just my performance. And then, also, getting to work with Jonathan so closely, we had really good chemistry together. He's got a lot of humor. He's very smart. You know what I mean? And and he's always kind of right there. So I was blessed in that way to have a great partner, to play off of. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
but there's also there are those actors who will be in your position and sitting at the feast and it'll stop there, and they won't invite anybody else in. They won't share any of it. And you are not that guy at all. When I came onto the show, I remember when you took me out for brunch that first time I was in town, and just you recognized, I think, that it was an intense situation to waltz into, and especially coming into something that's been functioning at a high rate, already. And you did so much to make me feel, welcome and supported and comfortable and a part of things from early on. And it was stuff that you didn't need to do, but you did because you knew it was important, for the show, but also for me. And I can never thank you enough for that, and that's just because that's the kind of guy you are. And a show it's always led from the top down, and when the top is, Fincher and you and Jonathan, it makes it the kind of thing that it was for anybody who came into it.
Well, I really appreciate that, Michael. I mean that sincerely. It's a very, very nice thing to say. I spent a lot of my career not being in the league. Do you know what I mean? Or in one of the leagues. Do you know what I mean? And being, even early on when I was working, for David in movies like Alien 3 and Fight Club and stuff like that, I'm in a supporting part, and I can, it always meant a lot to me when the lead actor, just takes the time to come over and say hello, welcome. You know what I mean? It's nice to have you here. Looking forward to working with you. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. It means a lot. I'll tell you, I'm here in Toronto right now shooting a film for Guillermo del Toro. And, as long as we're on the subject, Bradley Cooper did very much for me. So it was kind of like the same thing as, when we first met, very gracious, very, warm, and, I thought, wow, no wonder, this guy is so well liked and so admired, in the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
I've heard Bradley's French is pretty good. You guys been practicing with each other?
Bradley does speak French. It's true. No, I'll tell you, smart, talented, with great dignity and charm and humility. Everything really that you would hope to find in a movie star. You know what I mean? Approachable, easy to talk to, comes, you know what I mean? Is really good at the work, and is also just a pleasure to be around. You know what I mean? He's a special guy.
Dave, is Bradley Cooper in the booth? Let's bring him out. No, I'm kidding. There he is. But I mean, to add on a different level, I was very much an outsider on the Mindhunter thing, in the minuscule things that I did with that. But I noticed with Holt, everyone in the cast, the crew especially, they all loved you, right? And you made that whole set, not just you, I mean, everybody was in on it, but you were a spearhead and making it a family. I remember at the wrap party, you and Jonathan were like holding court. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody was down. You were high-fiving everybody. Everything was cool. And especially when we went to see you throw out that first pitch with Jonathan, I mean, in Holt fashion, he took out, like, we had to figure out a way to get him 6 different boxes because the entire cast and crew had to show up to see that. And it was just like, it was this huge party, and it was that appreciation that you showed for every little thing that everybody was doing. I think it just added a lot of nice energy on that set. And like I said, I was only on the set for like 3 days over 2 seasons.
Well, thanks, Patrick. We were blessed that we had a great crew. They were really nice people. I mean, they really were. They were just a pleasure to be around. Really cool guys. Eric Messerschmidt and his whole department. Jen Starzik and her whole department. And Gigi Williams, crazy Gigi, whom I love and adore. We just had a great crew. And I remember I had been doing a film like 20 years earlier with Robert De Niro called Men of Honor, and I heard through the grapevine that some of the guys on the crew had wanted to see this big boxing match that was going to be on the weekend with Oscar De La Hoya and Tito Trinidad. At the time, this was one of the most highly, anticipated matchups, and but there was nowhere to see it unless we ordered the pay-per-view, and it was going to be like $2,500 or something like that. And I don't know what made me do it, but I just decided. I guess I wanted to see it too, but I just decided to buy the fight and invite the crew. And I remember this old British guy who was the key grip, who was really like well admired, a real leader, you know what I mean, among his team. He came to me the next day and he knocked on my dressing room door and he said, mate, we don't usually get much from you lot. That was a very nice thing you did. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And I walked away and I realized that, that actors, sometimes, don't do enough to show their appreciation, for the crew. I really believe that, because the crew works very, very, very hard, and they often don't get we get breaks as actors. I can go back to my dressing room. I could, they're moving the camera. A lot of the guys on the crew are working from the time they show up in the morning until the time they go home at night, and they deserve to be appreciated. So I think it's important to do that kind of stuff, if you can. But you're right, it should be, it should be one of the lead actors. You know what I mean? It's not my place on a Bradley Cooper movie, do you know what I mean, to throw a big party for the crew. If he wants to do it, he'll do it, but yeah, I that's something I learned a long time ago.
But it's cool. I mean, it showed. It was nice. It was nice to see from an outsider's perspective. But yeah, so now I think is a good time to check in on the in-show poll, because this might be the winner. I mean, I don't know. We're not ready to call this yet. We're not going to put a TOD on it, but just to let people know, Mindhunter is pulling away. It is pulling away. Monk in the Three Pies.
Still hanging in there, though.
We could get a swing here. We could get a swing. Nobody new has called out the lights out thing. We're still holding at 7% there. But that is something special there. All right. So well, let me ask. Bill, Michael. I mean, where would you fall in your vote on this?
Michael, you take it first.
Well,
I mean, you can write in Creep Show 2
which way
if
the
you
wind
want.
blows with you.
I don't know. I think. I mean, I was a huge Fight Club fan. I sort of have to.
Good choice.
To beg off Mindhunter because I have a vested interest in that one. But there's something about the Mr. Monk and the Three Pies that I just can't shake it. Just can't shake it.
I mean, it was a tie really when it was just the pies, but when you throw in the sack race, I think that's what really takes it over the top.
Yep. We did it, and it's my fault that I could have gotten better footage from Lights Out. I figure everybody on here has already seen enough of the Mindhunter clips to know it. The Fight Club, I picked up the iconic. I mean, Holt, of all the things, even with Mindhunter right now, what is it that people stop you and talk to you about? What is the one thing that people kind of?
Oh, buddy, it's my iconic. I almost wore the shirt tonight. I have a T-shirt that says his name is Robert Paulson. I swear to God, I wore my
I don't doubt it.
Museum a shirt because I wanted to support my friend Dwayne, but I have a shirt that says his name is Robert Paulson, and I wear it all the time. That was for years and years and years, the thing that I was most frequently recognized for, because of all the things that I had done, the only masterpiece film that I had ever been in was Fight Club. Mm-hmm. And, so for years, people would stop me in airports. They would come, 15-year-old boys, and say it one time, dude, please say it one time. And I go, his name is Robert Paulson. Oh yeah. They just freaked out because it's an iconic scene. So if you have to be known for something, why not be known for, a film like that?
Well, two things. One, when I was scouring YouTube to try to find clips for you for this tonight and killing my boy Dave in the booth, because I was doing this at like 7:00 today. I was like, oh, we got to do this now. I totally should have planned in advance. But there's a lot of footage of like random people seeing you on the street and making you say his name is Robert Paulson over decades, like from TMZ to
right. But they wait for you outside of restaurants in LA. You know what I mean? It's like they can't. What's the first rule of Fight Club?
Basically, that's out there. The other
that would be my vote then. A montage of those. That would be my
best
vote.
Work. Like Holt in his element. When I was doing that show at the Ace Hotel, we were building the set one night, and I had guys like hanging from the ceiling, and that it wasn't safe. That room is not up to code, right? Well, they're closed now, so I can say that. So Holt came in. He was at the bar and with probably the crew buying them steaks, and just popped in to say hello. We talked for a little bit, and the dude crawls down off the catwalk after Holt goes away, and he goes, "His name is Robert Paulson." And I was like, "No, that was Holt McCallany," and I wasn't even thinking. And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah!" Like he was like, "Was that him? Was that him?" Dude was like 30 feet in the air, looking down at the top of his head, and like, so yeah. All right. My vote, I'm going to have to vote for Mr. Monk and the Three Pies. But that's there. So that carries this a little bit. So Fight Club gets another one, and Mr. Monk and the Three Pies gets another one. So it pretty much, it holds. I think this is a Mindhunter crowd. We've had some...
Come on, winning.
Man.
You didn't pull a punch at all.
Was that a small child, or was that a small stunt man? That's a very little stunt man.
I like the pause. I like the pause when you consider. You think you recognize what you're about to do, and you decide to do it anyway.
You're already in third place. I mean, what did that kid have to do with? You're behind. I mean, you're not catching. Your form was off.
Oh, crazy.
Oh man, never thought that was going to come back around this many times. Mr. Monk Gets the Pie is going to be the most downloaded thing on YouTube for the next 15 minutes. But anyway, all right, what's coming up? All right, Holt's in Canada. He's going to finish shooting the Bradley Cooper movie. Bill, what do you have cooking? Michael, what do you have cooking?
Mank, sometime in October, November, directed by David Fincher for Netflix. We'll go theatrical, and then it'll be on Netflix. That's the next thing up. And that's Citizen Kane and Herman Mankiewicz and Orson Welles. So it's 30s Hollywood.
You've already got this thing
by David's father. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We shot it. We shot it from October to March.
So you finished this thing just before right before the lockdown.
Yeah. We wrapped in February.
Wow. So you just missed this thing
principal.
by like
End of February. We were just in, handing it over to Post by mid-March when everything shut down. So Post went to their separate corners and were able to communicate like they always do in the dark through electronics. And we're able to put it all together. So I've seen, the most recent cut. It's amazing. And Mr. Messerschmidt was our cinematographer. So, and Eric, big cheers for Eric. He's up for an Emmy for Mindhunter as well. So congratulations. And I think I just heard he's shooting the rest of the season of Fargo. So I think he's in Chicago now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's a quick update. Other than that, working on my tennis game. That's about it.
How's that coming?
Slow and painful, but fitting into better pants now. That's for sure.
Well, all right, you got that going for you. Michael, talk to me. Hold on, Michael.
Myself.
There you go.
There I am. I'm playing stuff with a band, recording. We just did a cover of a John Cale song, "Fear is a Man's Best Friend," that we put up a little bit ago. I'm releasing some of my bottom of the basement tapes stuff tomorrow. Actually, this album that was supposed to be my first solo album is going to be released tomorrow online, and then supposedly next week I'm supposed to go back to work on an HBO series, and we're crossing our fingers that that's going to happen, and we'll see. And supposedly you and I are doing a movie together in Pittsburgh at some point.
At some point, once this thing gets kind of figured out and the testing thing gets shut down, the difference with the independent films is rough, because once you get geared up to start it, and once you get started, you got to know that it's not going to get shut down in a week.
Yeah.
But what state is this TV series? Where's it going to be filming?
It's mostly most of it'll be in New York, and then some of it'll be in Newport, Rhode Island, in the new year. But most of it takes place in New York on sound stages, some and back lot that they built for some. It's a period thing, so it's mostly going to be here. And New York right now is one of the better places to be trying to do something. So
yeah,
miraculously,
it's turned around. It seems it's almost like someone got a handle on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
crazy.
Well,
science apparently. Who knows?
Science. Well, that's there. Unfortunately, I'm in a really weird yo-yo state with some people like it's the public swimming pool analogy. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't have like a peeing section in a public swimming pool. It's going to get everywhere. So
Yeah.
So that's where. But I'm glad you guys got stuff on the horizon. If we had done this a couple months ago, it would have been, with the exception of Bill, because Bill would still be working on his tennis game, and he'd be just back. Nothing changes for this guy. He's got a rabbit's foot right up it. But yeah. But that's it. So Holt, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
It is. Singing happy birthday to you would be really tragic right now, because unless Michael did a solo or Bill did a solo, it's going to be rough. But could you imagine what it would sound like? Imagine us singing you happy birthday.
The tears that would happen.
I'll imagine it would be. I would be choked up. I would.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. It would be
choked up, because that's what it would be.
It'd be worse than Danny Boy. I mean, this would be. It'd be
But
so
I'll tell you,
special.
honestly, as I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, I'm in quarantine in Toronto for 2 weeks, so I was going to have to spend my birthday all by myself. But I feel like instead I spent it with some old friends of mine, and it actually made this a really memorable birthday. I'll remember this. This was a lot of fun, and thank you, Patrick, for setting it up.
Oh, sure thing, man. Well, we were talking about having you on, and then it was like maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, and Holt was like, "Well, Thursday's my birthday." And I'm like, well, shit. Like,
Well, why don't we just do it on my birthday?
This changed. Well, man, there's so much more.
Just let me just say, Bill.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. It was really nice of you guys to take the time to drop in and to say hi on my birthday. It's fabulous to see you guys both. I look forward to when we can all see each other in person.
Me too. Wouldn't have missed it.
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
All right,
Thank you.
I'm getting it in the headset that we should probably try to sing happy birthday.
Oh boy.
All right, just know it's gonna be bad. Not because obviously Michael is world class talent. It's like Michael's a friggin' vocalist. You could tell by his microphone, for Christ's sake. But I mean, like he's had. So we're gonna try. Dave,
Yeah.
Dave, do you want to do this from the booth too? Can we get some audio from Dave? All right. So we're gonna try this. All right. Michael, start us off.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Holt. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
That was the creepiest, most Mindhunter worthy.
That was awesome. That was better than Psycho Killer.
You think that painting of Manson by Gacy was creepy? What you just saw here was us trying to go slower and slower, and it just trying to hear what everybody else was doing. This is why the live shit doesn't work. All right. Well, there's Holt there. So anyway, one last look at the poll, Dave. Are we done? Let's call it, Dave. Who's the winner? Was there a surge? Was there a late show surge?
All right, we're coming in. It was one of our most successful polls ever.
Show.
The people, they were motivated. So let's see what we got here. All right. This is it. I mean, I thought there was going to be a pie bump, but it looks like Mindhunter just all the way, every day. 53%. It's over. The results.
All right,
it's done.
it.
Pittsburgh has
The
chosen.
Holt off.
The
The
world
Holt off.
has
Pittsburgh
chosen.
has chosen.
Under the circumstances, that was the right call.
I agree. Well, anyway, guys, if you want to stick around till after the credits run, we can BS for a little bit, but we're going to take this thing down off of the public feed. Thank everybody for watching. Alone Together Pittsburgh is going to be back tomorrow at 8:00 with some great guests, Dave Bracey, Natalie Besavenga, and some more stuff. We're going to have some musical guests. I want to thank Bill Doyle, William Doyle, Michael Cerveris, and of course the birthday boy himself, Holt McCallany. If you haven't seen any of those films and TV shows, I highly recommend watching them, starting with Mr. Monk Gets a Pie, of course. But thank you all very much, and we'll give you guys updates on what everybody else is doing as things progress here. Hopefully we don't have to do the show much longer, but thank you all. Happy birthday. Stay safe. Wash your hands and wear a mask.
Thank you, Patrick.
Sure. Thank you. Check the closing credits, Holt. I don't know if we have the right footage or not, but we'll see.
Oh, God. Look at that bug.
You look like Eric Stoltz.
Look at that. Jake down there. Oh, look at this. How mean I look. Casualties of war. Alien food.
With that hair. Oh, look at that guy. What a flirt.
Chiseled.
Oh, wow. You. The advocate stuff. There he is.
Hey.
Look at those abs.
Yeah, well. Blonde hair. The only kind of my hair I see. That's a good movie.
There's Monk.
There it is.
That's the one, folks.
That's the expression.
Against the ropes. Look at that. That's rolling.
CSI Miami.
Your career's so long, it went longer than our extraordinarily long closing credits. Putting generic music on here now.
We're only in 2007.
Oh, Christ, we got some. Oh, Criminal Minds. Blood Hunter.
Yeah.
Precursor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vantage Point.
Now, are you getting residuals on every one of these right now?
Boy, it doesn't feel like it. I wish I were. God, I haven't thought about some of these shows in years. Again with the blonde hair.
You're a cute blonde, I'm telling you. The Losers, that was a good one. There's Lights Out.
There's Lights Out, yeah. I did every Law and Order you can ever do. Oh, this is a terrible movie. Please don't see that one.
Bullet to the Head.
That's Walter Hill. That's a Sylvester Stallone film.
I saw that movie.
Gangster Squad is with Sean Penn and Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Crush, I don't even remember being in this movie. I really don't even remember being in this movie. Golden Boy was a television show I did that was mercifully canceled.
Okay.
The Gansville Haunting, it's actually Haunting, but whatever. Black Cat is a Michael Mann film that stars Chris Hemsworth that was destroyed.
Blue Bloods.
With, yeah. Oh,
Run All Night, that's a good one.
Yeah, Run All Night with Liam Neeson, Perfect Guy. This film actually did really well. Believe enough. Warrior, what is Warrior? Jack Reacher was with Tom Cruise. Sully, that's Tom Hanks. Yeah.
You guys both did the theater in Cleveland, right?
We did, the Great Lakes Shakespeare Festival.
Yeah.
Captain Flapjack. I did that as a favorite. Monster Trucks is probably the biggest bomb I was ever in. Shot Caller is not a bad movie, though.
Look at that goatee.
Yep. And finally,
there he is.
Mindhunter.
There he is.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Well, there you go.
We got more. That's all right. Those aren't. That's not other appearances. Okay. Wow. And maybe a few others.
Well, I'm sure there are. Well, anyway, we're going to say goodbye to everyone else. We can stick around if you want to shoot the shit with each other. But
I got a million people texting me because it's my birthday. I got to,
Wait. It's your birthday?
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
But hey, thanks for giving us this. Thanks for giving us this time, everybody. And Holt, get back to those texts. Take it easy, everybody. Thank you all.
Bye, y'all.
Love you guys.